And we're back. Today is the last adventure, last delve into the hole in the oak. We have gone on this adventure a few times. We have, if you see the blue highlighted areas, these are from our previous adventures. There is lots of treasure in here, but I think after one more delve, we're going to abandon the little pieces that are left. We don't know where we're going to end up. We're going to let the dice determine the direction of our adventure. It is the crew that we have all come to know and love. Up front, we have Dirk, Godfrey, and Augustus in our front line. Middle, we have Kristoff and Ruby May. And Fingers, actually, will also be in our middle line. And then in the back, we've got Chandler and Elranden. We're not going to get into who each of these characters are. If you've been watching the series, you've gotten to know them a little bit. I will put who is what class and what level they are down in the description, just like I did last time. We are inching up, getting closer. Some of our guys are leveling up, but after this adventure, we're going to send them into some downtime, and we're going to look at playing Shadow Dark solo for just a little while these characters, in their one-to-one time, will be pursuing some personal goals. So let's get started. Our heroes light up their first torch, and we are coming in here. Now, we have our first choice to make. Do we want to continue down this carrot-shaped tunnel and see what lies beyond? We know the gnomes are gone. We know that this way can lead up into the statue room and north. We tried to find treasure in the north like the plant people told us, but this was a dead end. So we know somewhere along the river on a beachhead there is treasure waiting for us. So we need a choice. Evens says we're going to go north. Odds, we are going east. Okay, odds says we're going east, so we're going to continue in this direction. Now, since we've already mapped out this space, it's not going to be a slow grind. We can actually get all the way over here before we even need to mark our torch once. But getting from here to here, we are going to have to count and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so as we fill in the space here with our torchlight and we're kind of mapping what we see, we get up to this door when we realize, okay, we know what this leads into the gnomes that we've already encountered from the other directions. Okay, and that is going to be one mark on our torch. And then we're going to continue further on just to see, because we don't need to double back here. We're going to go another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares here. Mark off our torch. And that is not coming off as beautifully as I'd like, but we can see over here. Okay, and then we're going to mark our torch, and we're going to have a random monster check. And let's see what happens. On a 1, no trouble today. We continue forward, and we're going to get over here. Now, before we make a choice on these 3 doors that you guys can see lined up right here, we're going to double back this way and make sure there's nothing on this side of the wall. So we're going to have another random monster check as we just double back. We want to make sure that we're not missing any doors here. So it actually is most of our hour just going up and down this tunnel, trying not to cause too much of a stir. And we don't hit any combat or anything. So actually there are bats that live in this cave that we saw a couple sessions ago. And as long as we're not doing any fighting in here and like stirring up trouble, they're going to be able to sleep and rest. So we now have 3 doors that we can choose. So we're going to roll a D3 and let the fates decide. 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. All right. 2. We're going to try the second door, and let's see what is waiting for us. This is encounter, our magic items. Our magic items, they came in so clutch last session with the potion of control plants. Let's see what encounter 40 says. The Cave of Silence. So it's a natural cavern, and we can see there's like a circular set of stone seats in here and some burnt up candle stubs. There's not really much in this room. It looks just like a meeting room from a long time ago. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Nothing too interesting about this space, although it does say when the door is closed, there there's absolute silence. So maybe we can use it to hide later if we need to. So we're gonna try again, this time evens odds. Okay, we're gonna go odds. We're gonna come down to this door now, and let's see, is it stuck, actually? We need to remember to be checking for that. We can assume that it probably is gonna be stuck. Yeah, we don't wanna forget that detail. If the door's not locked, it could very likely be a stuck door. Now, there's something waiting for us on the other side of this. So let's see if we can get the door open. First, we're gonna use our color-coded dice sets to see if we can smash open this door. The frontliners are gonna give it a go. We might be able to do it. As you can see, the red die is on a 2, and I'm pretty sure Augustus, yes, 2 and 6, Augustus pops open the door for us on the first turn, which means that both parties could be surprised here. There are some giant fire beetles waiting for us. So the party is green, the monsters will be red. Let's see if anybody is surprised. Okay, we have 2 6s. Neither party is surprised, so that's really cool. Now we need to see, how are these monsters feeling about us? 4, they're feeling pretty aggressive to us, and since we can't speak fire beetle language, and our druid isn't quite at the level of being able to speak with animals yet, I think we're in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see, do we have anything that can help us on our bag of magic items? We have Potion of Poison, Gaseous Form, Potion of Plant Control. No, it doesn't look like it. We do have a Ring of Water Walking, though. This could help us up on the river here if we want to explore along the beach edge, if we can get back up to the north later. Let's see if we can do something with that later. Let's remember that. So the fire beetles are aggressive. We need to know how many of them are there. Ooh, there are 7. Okay, well, they can hurt us too. Like, these guys are tough. It already gives us the HP listed here. Let's move it up a little bit so you guys can see the HP. Get a focus in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we have 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 8, 8. So we got some heavy hitting fire beetles. They are aggressive to us. They're going to fight, and so we will roll for initiative. Before we do, is there anything we want to do? Any magic items or strategies that we would like to drop on these things? I think let's check the sleep spell. I think it's just creatures, but it might say humanoids. Maybe we can just put these fire beetles to sleep and then save ourselves some unnecessary combat, because it's not like the fire beetles are going to be containing jewels in their pockets or something. So let's move over to the sleep spell, and that way maybe we can just put them to sleep. All right. It says a creature, so we can do it. All right, so we are going to declare one of Kristoff's sleep spells to be used on these guys, because we can just save ourselves some fighting. We don't need to fight these things. Maybe we can get rid of, knock some of them out of the fight right away. Okay, so we're declaring one spell. And we do get to go first. So first we're gonna make some ranged attacks. And for that, our team is going to have Kristoff is casting a spell. So it's just gonna be the 3 in the back. Chandler with the sling, Elranden and Fingers with their bows. So we need a purple die. We need a yellow die. Yeah, Elranden's gonna have to be yellow. I did decide that I'm gonna redo my character sheets because they're getting very erased. Very messy and erased. And so after this adventure, I'm gonna redo the character sheets with fresh colors and less pencil marks and erasings. Oh, maybe I should actually roll the attack rolls. Okay, let's do this the right way. And then this would be a D4. Okay, let's see if they actually hit anything. Oh yeah, we've got some hits. We have 2 damage and 2 damage on the first beetle. one fire beetle gets obliterated by an arrow and a stone, crushing it immediately. Now our spell's gonna go off and we get 2d8 hit die. We get 4 more of these dudes, and we do have to start with the lowest hit die first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 2 8 hit die creatures left, and then we are going to do our melee attacks, which will be Augustus. It will be Dirk, Cold Breath, and Godfrey, all coming in, swinging their magic weapons in the front. It looks like we got some solid hits here. With Dirk, I think we're gonna have a miss for Dirk. He's not gonna be doing as well. Let's see. Dirk does have a +3, so that's a 9. The armor on these beetles is a little bit too high for that. It's a 15, so that's not gonna be enough. But the other 2 will hit. So we have a D8 +2 for Godfrey's damage. And we have a D8 +2 for Augustus's magic item. So let's go ahead and roll these out. All right, so we've got the first, actually Augustus is able to destroy one completely by himself. But Godfrey, on the other hand, he only does 6 points of damage on the fire beetle, and therefore it lives for its turn. It's gonna be able to make its attack. And so it goes to its turn, and we will randomly determine, 1 being Dirk, 2 being Augustus, and 3 being Godfrey, who the beast strikes. It goes for Augustus, but it's not going to hit. Not with Augustus's massive armor class. We're going to go back to the top of the round. Let's try to finish off this last beast. Sadly, it wanted to fight. It's a tie. We're going to roll again. Again? Wow. Okay, so it's gonna go first, and it is going to attack. It misses wildly with a natural 1. That's really good for us. We're gonna make some back line attacks. We're gonna make 4 ranged attacks. And we have a natural 20. As long as we don't roll a 1 here, it's game over for this beetle. It is game over with 4 damage. The fire beetle menace is obliterated because the rest of them are put to sleep, so we can just quickly crush them, get them out of the way, and we can move on. We did have to spend 10 minutes to rest after the combat. And so we do that. We have cleared out this bottom southeast room, which is nice because we can now see that this room leads up and connects into this very strange stalactite room. Let's read what is in room 42. It says a dripping grotto. It's got a lot of stalactites hanging, and it's very moist in this room. We can hear the distant sound of water, which is exciting for my team because we know somewhere on the beach is treasure. And so we have to wiggle our way through this room. It is all movement through the space is slowed, and so just going through this room is enough to burn out our last torch and trigger a random monster. We did just get done resting after that combat, so I think we're okay. And nothing comes with a 6 on the D6. And so we're gonna move up into area 43, where we see the strangest thing. There are holes in the walls. And there are like these crevasses in irregular shapes. I think we might be a little curious because we have some characters that are just chaotic. And so what I want to do is I want to go through this list, and according to alignment, maybe they're going to do something chaotic and put their hand in the hole. We have lawful, lawful, lawful. Our frontline guys, they don't mess around, but Kristoff is chaotic. Fingers is neutral, but he's greedy. Lawful, lawful, neutral. Okay, I don't think that Ruby May is that curious. I think these two PCs, Fingers and Kristoff, if you guys have gotten to know them, you know that we have one who is very likely to take things that don't belong to him. And then Kristoff, well, he's just chaotic. He'll just do anything. You can never trust him. So these two are both going to reach their hands into these holes and pull something out. Hopefully they don't come away with mutations or missing fingers. This is area 43. Let's see. Reaching into the hole. The PC might be able to grab something of value. Roll a d20 and consult the table to the right. Okay. Each item can only be grabbed once. There's also a chance of a hand that reaches the hole being mutated. Okay, so we roll a d12 and a d20 for each of our characters. Let's get some of these dice out of here. Getting a little clustered. Okay. All right, now let's see what's gonna happen to them as they reach into the hole. All right, so on a 12, we have Augustus puts his hand in there and he finds, not Augustus, this is Kristoff, puts his hands inside and he pulls out a serrated dagger. And when he does, his hand comes back crusted and rotten like a zombie. He now has a zombie hand, which is creepy for sure and is not going to make him any friends in town. On the other hand, we have our boy Fingers puts his hand in. He comes away with nothing except his hand pulls out, and you, instead of having his normal dexterous fingers, it's now been mutated into a bird-like talon that he can do a D4 claw attack with. Interesting. I wonder if that's going to affect his ability to do any thieving stuff, like unlocking doors or disarming traps. Let's see. Bird claw. That could very well be the end of his thieving career. We will see how that plays out. All right, these two chaotic fools have gained nothing other than some really strange mutations, and we are going to move along down the hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, and that is going to be a mark off our torch, our brand new torch. And we have a path to our left and a path straight ahead. Evens, left. Evens, we go left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we get into this room. And what do we see? With encounter 44, we found the lizard's den. There are stone blocks that form a domed ceiling in this space. There's a big stinky nest, and there are 7 like basketball-sized eggs in this room. There's also like a bunch of like mud and goop just piled up all over the floor. I think like we're gonna spend 10 minutes just going through the space. We're gonna trigger a random monster check. Nothing. And we do find some things. We are going to find 92 gold pieces. Let's just write that here. We have 92 GP. And there is a bent silver ring. And it says the wearer gains a +1 to con and can accelerate yeast fermentation to 20 times its normal speed. But they also become addicted to beer. Okay. Okay, so this is a really powerful ring. Ring of +1 con and addicted to beer. I love that. Like, that's so random. Okay, so now let's go through the team. Who here needs a con adjustment the most? Fingers is in a really bad spot, but he's already wearing the Ring of Invisibility. He can only wear 2. And so this would be his last ring slot. Again, Kristoff really in a bad spot, but going to a 7 isn't going to help him. Oh, turn this around. This won't bump him up, so it's not going to really help Dirk very much. This is huge for Godfrey, though. Going from 8 to 9 goes from a -1 to 0, which would adjust all of his previous hit points by a +1 as well. So he would go up to 18 just by putting this ring on. It looks like we've got our winner, but let's just make sure. Yeah, it's not going to change Augustus. It's not going to change Chandler. Elranden would still be at a negative, and Ruby May would still be at +0. I think we have our adjustment. Winner, winner, ring of beer. +1 con. What an amazing gift for our dear friend. His con adjusts to 9. He now has a +0 on his con modifier. That is huge. And he's going to go up to 18 hit points because he is no longer suffering that -1. And it is definitely time to change these character sheets. I have so many smudges, and just some of the character sheets have holes where I've erased so many times on the gold and the XP spots. Okay, so that's really cool. That is a massive upgrade for our boy. We're gonna double back here. Oh, let's just make sure there's no lizards in this space. I just wanna make sure I'm not missing them. Page 44. There's a 2 in 6 chance that 1d2 giant lizards are here. So what we're gonna say is, since we did all that, we'll say there's a 1 in 2 chance that they, sorry, 1 or a 2 on a d6 says they just come into the room. Okay, they don't come into the room. All right, so we're gonna turn back north. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's another mark off the torch because we actually got halfway through over here. And then we get up to this high, and now we have a choice. Are we gonna go left or right? Now, I know we can hear the ocean coming from the north, and I'm thinking our characters know about the mystery. There is treasure up here. We just have to find it. So I think no matter what, our boys are gonna choose to go here. And in this room, it says there's lizards. So let's see, what does that mean? We're gonna go to encounter 46. Oh, I think I passed it up. All right, it's the lizard shrine. These stone blocks, they form a domed ceiling. There's a stinky poo smell all over the floor. There's muck and algae. And again, there's that wet, in the west, there is a crashing sound coming from this western side of water as it rolls down the river. Anyone who rolls a natural 1 on their attacks actually slips and falls for 1 HP of damage, and it takes a whole round to get up. And there are 4 giant lizards, Tuatara lizards. They're lounging. They have hypnotic eyes, misty purple fascinating eyes. Gazing into a lizard's eyes, the PC sees visions of erotic lizard man rituals. Disgusting. Oh my goodness, these dudes are 6 HD. These guys are mean. So the hypnotic eyes, I think it just gives you like visions, but it doesn't actually, let's see. So there's an altar over here, and it says that it has a giant chameleon god with outstretched hands like this, carved into the sandstone. It's covered with algae, and there are dancing lizardmen statues all around on either side of the altar. Inspecting the god's left hand, you can see there's a bunch of algae in a golden bowl, and the bowl has a bunch of electrum in it. Okay. So we have a bunch of treasure here. This is great, but it's guarded by these lizards. Let's see, are we surprised? Are the lizards surprised? Here we go. The lizards are surprised. They're too busy goofing off, like doing weird stuff, like eating algae and like licking each other or whatever, rolling around in the muck. And so we are going to get a free round on these things. Now, let's see, how are they feeling about us? Are they angry? They're mostly friendly. Like, they actually aren't interested in what we're doing at all. So since we see nothing aggressive about them, we're gonna come in. We are so lucky that they're not aggressive because these things are massively powerful. They only do a d4 of damage a couple times, but the bite is 2d6. That would chip away at our boys really quickly. And so we're grateful that we can leave it up to the random dice, right? They are not hostile to us, and so we are gonna take the treasure from this room, and we are going to skedaddle over to the water rushing over to the west. We can hear it, the sounds of it. So let's see, what all treasure did we get? We got a golden bowl that's worth 800 GP. Bowl. And there's 42 electrum discs. And they're each worth 5 gold. Oh, that's really cool. All right. Yeah, we got lucky there. That encounter, the dice just were very much in our favor. They really helped us out there because we didn't have to fight these things. And we are going to move quickly past them. Coloring in this space, looking at that lizard shrine is pretty disgusting to us, and we just want to get away from it as quickly as possible. And we're going to move over here. So fully checking out that room. This way, yeah, that's going to be another random monster check. No, nothing. Excellent. We're going to move to the west. Now, we can now see there is a river here. This is excellent because we know somewhere, according to the moss men who live in the walls here, there is treasure on the beach, and we have found another beachhead. Let's see what is waiting for us. Lizard Bay. It's a natural cavern. There's a rushing river. There is a stench coming from where we just came, and there's like little bone fragments. There's 17 silver, and there is a 2 in 6 chance of 1d4 of those lizards from area 4-6 perching on the edge. Okay, so we already encountered them over here, and so they're not over there. We have just 17 silver pieces that we can take. We're interested. Every little bit helps. We're gonna walk along this little land edge over here and see what's at 48. Right now, it's just a river with some fish nets heaped up into a pile. I think we need to take a little stroll with our ring of water walking. And so I'm going to give that ring of water walking to Dirk. Dirk is going to strap it on. He's going to walk out on the water here, and he's going to come and check out this whole space over here. Everyone else is camping. You know what? It should be Augustus. Augustus is the leader of the group, and he has hold person. So if we encounter anybody, we can cast a spell to immobilize them, and he can get out of there. Whereas Dirk would have to fight it out. So Augustus, as leader of this crusade, he is going to walk down this space here. He's going to see that there's a waterfall cascading down into a deep hole, not going down over there. It's going to double back this way. And we're going to walk all the way under this bridge. He's going to note that there is a bridge this way, so we would have to double back around somehow and get there. I'm going to keep walking along. He's going to see this space over here, recognize it as an already mapped area, and he's going to come up to this last beachhead here. This is the only beachhead that we haven't explored, and so it has to be the one with treasure. Area 19. Ghoul Bay. Area 19, Ghoul Bay. That's not good. A natural cavern. There's a rushing river and a sandy beach. There's a half-devoured corpse, a fairly fresh, partially dismembered, legless corpse. It has destroyed armor. The legless corpse will crawl to attack PCs. It has been recently killed adventurer turned into a ghoul. It is a demi-ghoul. Okay. Well, it's crawling out, but we can see that there is a pile of bones and driftwood, and there's a sack of coins, and we are going to try to get that. So this ghoul is going to come at our boy, and ghouls can be turned. So first and foremost, let's see if Augustus is surprised by that. He is not. All right, who's going to go first? We're going to try to turn undead on this thing. Augustus is going to go first. He's going to turn undead as a 1 HD creature. I'm almost certain there is no way Augustus is going to fail as a level 4 cleric. You guys can see he is a level 4. He just instantly destroys the demighoul. It's not a full-fledged ghoul because it's missing parts of its body, so it is only a 1 HD creature. It is instantly destroyed, and Augustus is going to claim the treasure. All right, with treasure in tow, having checked out this space, I think this is the treasure that was foretold. He's gonna come back, and he's going to tie his rope, his 50-foot rope, onto this bridge, and he's going to walk the space over here. Now, while he was gone, this is not an easy trip. It's not a fast trip. The rest of the team is camped out here, waiting, and there's gonna be random monster checks. I think there's gonna be a total of 4 as he gets over here, and then he doubles back. So, let's see, 1, 2, yeah, that's gonna be about as long. So almost a whole hour of him traveling over there, taking the break, and coming back. So we have 4 random monster checks. Nothing. Everybody sits peacefully and waits. He brings the rope from this bridge that he's tied off, and one by one, using the rope, they're going to climb and scale this space. This is not an easy journey, and so we need to make dexterity checks for each person, except for Fingers, who has a climbing skill. On a natural 1, they fall. Fingers is good to go. Let's see how Kristoff does with his zombie hand. I think on a 1 or a 2, Kristoff will fall because he has a zombie hand now. He makes it. Dirk, cold breath. Don't fail, Dirk. You just need a successful, don't get a 1. Dirk is good. Augustus. Oh, he has the ring of water walking. He's okay. Chandler. Good to go. Elranden. Ooh, so close. Ruby May. Oh, again, very close. Now, Godfrey. Everybody makes it onto the rope, climbing up and into the space. They didn't slip and fall, lose their grip, and go cascading down the waterfall. They come up onto Area 30. They see a wall behind them, but guess what? We already have the key for this secret door, so we can open and close this at will. So we are going to unlock it, just in case we need to flee. We're going to move across this space. Climbing did take quite some time. We're going to come into room 31, and we are going to see a bunch of statues here. This is the Hall of Queens. There's a bunch of statues of ancient queens. There's slimy algae. Now, there is a secret door. By pressing a stone at the base of one of the statues, we can uncover a hidden room back here. But that is a massive assumption that we would know that there is a secret door here. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to have a passive check to see if anybody is able to spot the secret door. Now, we can do this a number of ways. We could roll a d6 and see how everybody does. Like, do they passively get a 1? But this is a lot of people in a tiny room. I think that would increase the odds of us finding it. There are a lot of people in here looking around for treasure. We're gonna spend a full 10 minutes searching this space, triggering a random monster, lighting up a new torch. Nothing comes. And so we are going to go one by one on our team and see who can find this secret door. We have in our front line right away, Dirk finds it. Now, you might be thinking to yourself at home, Mike, that's too easy. You're making it too easy. Well, I would say so. But if you can read these green little words right over here, you can see that it says, there is a wight waiting for us beyond this door. And wights can drain levels. And I want this episode to be exciting. I want this episode to go down in infamy. Either we destroy the wight, come away successful, maybe get a magic item, or he turns our team into undead servants. Let's move into room 32 through the secret door and see what it is that's waiting for our heroes. We have the hidden crypt. There is a stale, dusty bit of air in this room. There's rusty candlesticks. And there's a massive stone sarcophagus with a fanged serpent face. The inscription is some kind of alien language that actually, unless if my people speak dragon, which I don't think they do, we can't even read it. But we are going to open the coffin in hopes of finding treasure. And we do. We're quite lucky because there is a magic sword. It's called the Azure Serpent Blade. And there's a bunch of treasure worth over 2,000 gold. And also, there is Jorg, the Defiler, a wight. His head is smashed and part of his brain was he's brainless, but like his skull cavity's got a big hole in it. He has glowing blue eyes and he has rusted chainmail. This pale blue glowing sword is laying across his chest as his eyes pop open. And he is going to rise and attack whoever disturbs his rest. Now, he makes no sound, so he is going to offer a surprise check against my team, but not my team against him. Only magic or silver weapons can work against this guy. Luckily, my team is all strapped with magic weapons and silver. He has energy drain. If he hits, a successful hit means the target permanently loses 1 experience level. This loss of 1 hit die or hit points, as well as other benefits, drain level, the XP is reduced to halfway between the former and new levels. So not only do they drop down to a low level, but they go halfway to that new level. A person drained of all their levels becomes a wight. All right, let's see if we are surprised. Let's go. Oh, terrible news. Our team is surprised. We can do this. Jorg stands up and he swings. He hits. Someone is losing a level today. He has a +2 to his attack. That is a 21. Now, the front line, they have some high armor. I'm not gonna lie, they do have high armor, but nobody is gonna stop a 21 on their attack. Everybody is gonna take this one no matter what. And so who here will drop a level? 1, 2, 3 on a D3. Godfrey drops down to level 2. We'll make the XP adjustment later, but he is now level 2. Terrible, terrible news for Godfrey. The strike hits against him for a D8 +2 damage. 8 damage. Now, he is going to lose a D8 of damage of hit points, and then he's going to lose 8 on top of that. So let's see what his new HP total is. Okay, so he did lose 1 HP, because I'm not going to be able to remember like what his original hit die were, so he just lost a D8 of hit die. His new max is 17, which is great for us. Is it mathematically possible to get to 17 though It is not. So he would have to lose at least 2, right? Because the highest he could ever get is 16. So we're gonna have to drop him to 16, even though it says just a 1 on the die. All right, and then he's gonna take 8 damage. So he is at 8 hit points. And now we go to the top of the round. We are going to attempt to turn undead. Augustus and Chandler are going to try to turn undead. All right. Let's have everybody else fight. We go first. That's good news. I don't think we could have survived another hit. All right. Ranged attacks. Do we have any magical ranged attacks? We do. We just picked up a magical dagger, which I forgot to mention. Over here, there's a magical +1 dagger. That is going to go to Fingers McGonagall. So Fingers is going to throw his magic dagger. And Kristoff has 4 silver daggers. He's going to throw one of those. Chandler is going to be doing a spell. Elranden has silver arrows. He's going to knock one of those. Okay. And that's that. Okay. That's not good. That is not great. Against an AC of 14, only the dagger will strike. A D4 silver dagger at this range is not going to miss. It's going to do 3 points of damage against Jurg, who has 10 more hit points. Then we're going to go to turn undead. We are going to try to turn this beast first. Chandler. What? That is an amazing result. Let's see if Chandler can be successful with that. I think a 12 is going to turn. Chandler is a 3rd level cleric against a 3rd level monster, a 3 HD monster. A 9 is what he needs to succeed. A 12 is what he rolled. We turn the beast. He's not going to be attacking on his turn. We're going to get 1 free turn because we're going to continue to beat this thing until he is destroyed. Next up, Augustus is going to hold. Waste his turn, but it is what it is. Now we've got our melee. 1, 2, let's go. No! Terrible, terrible, terrible. Swing, swing, miss. It's going to go to Jurg's turn. He does nothing because he is turned. Going to the top of the round. We go first. We've got magical attacks coming out. The dagger is gone. So how about this? We have a silver dagger, a silvered arrow. Let's go. Come on, let's get some hits. We have 1 hit with a silvered arrow, 4. 6 damage, that's 9. Jurg still has 4 hit points. Then we are going to go to melee. Come on, guys. Come on, we got to finish this thing before he gets figured out like that he's no longer feared. We have a hit from Augustus, our leader. A D8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 damage is 10 damage. With that strike from the holy mace of parrying, smashes Jurg, destroying him. We recover his treasure, which is a golden necklace worth over 2,000 gold, and a blade, a +1 magic sword that allows speaking with lizard-type creatures and serpents. We have another magical sword in our arsenal. We have a massive treasure recovered. Now we're going to make our way out of this place. We're going to hop down from our bridge rope. We're going to climb down here. We're going to slowly move our way past all of these things. Now, to climb safely, we're first going to have our Augustus is going to come down with his ring of water walking, and he is going to aid people, walking them back and forth to make sure no one drowns. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. We have to first recover 10 minutes from our battle. here with the wight. That's going to trigger a random monster check. Nothing. And then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 30 minutes going back and forth for another random monster check. Nothing. Then we're going to make our way all the way back through this space for one last random monster check. Ah, so as we're coming out of this space, something is going to happen. Right when we're about to make like bandits, something is going to get in our way. And that is going to be a D20 event. 19 tells us that 1d3 sniveling pink trogs dragging a leather bag full of blood, looking for one of their kindred named Old Greg. They claim he murdered the Trog boss and intend to return the favor. Okay, well, we might have good news for them. Let's see how they react to us. Oh no, well, this is violent. They always attack. So 1d3 plus 1. 1d3 plus 1 of these guys. They always attack. So there are 3 of them. They always attack. They are hateful. They are hateful. Okay, and so we need to go to encounter 17 so we can look at what the Trog's skills are. Okay, so we might be surprised on a 1 through a 4. They can be surprised on a 1 and a 2. Both parties are surprised as we come across each other in the hallway. We move to combat because they are hateful. They always attack. We go first. We're going to launch our arrows at these dudes. Let's have a sneak attack from our invisible thief, who never really gets to do too much. So we've got ranged attacks coming out. We're gonna have a sneak attack coming. Actually, that's a melee attack. Here we go. Not great. We're gonna miss AC 14 on all of our attacks. And then, oh, we could have called a sleep spell. We're gonna call the sleep spell. Sorry, that's a mistake on my behalf. We are gonna call the sleep spell. That is definitely what we would do. Let's see how many of these D8s we can hit. Sorry, I know that's technically against the rules, but I'm playing by myself and I often forget the little things like declaring spells. We can just put them all to sleep. Yeah, we've got a total of 11. There are 3 of these things. We just put them to sleep and we get out of there. We don't need to fight these things. We don't want to. Our business in this place is done. We have almost completely explored the hole in the oak, but we will be moving on. We will be leveling up some of our heroes. We will be re-leveling up our paladins, sadly. Distributing magic items. Taking out some downtime and seeing what it is we can do to advance our characters' causes. As we transition the campaign into our next dungeon, we're gonna take a break and head into Shadowdark. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Please hit like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. It's the best way for people to get to know about the Scudder for Mike channel, is like just kind of talking about it. You can follow me on X. The link is in the description. So good to see you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.